You going somewhere without me? Grand Rising, everyone. It is 12:52 p.m. Sunday, May 4th, 2025. I am Toya, and this is the Blue Lighthouse Mantle. It's always so many things going through my head. So I don't really know where to start. Well, let me start here. For those of you who are new to your spiritual journey, and you're cutting people off, whatnot. Some of you may not be there yet. But for those who are at the point where they're cutting people off, I want you to understand there are times you're going to have to cut off people that you really care about. Not that you don't love them. Not that you don't be around them. You just give them small portions of yourself. How do I say this? Most of the time, things that I speak about on here is something that I've experienced or something that someone close to me has experienced. But most of the time, it's been about something that I've experienced. I've been on this journey for quite some time. Only because I've had people to do things, to delay things in my life. With me not knowing, I didn't understand what was going on at the time. The things I've learned, I've only been learning for the last couple of years. 2000, I would say 2002. Gotten snippets over the years, but I really got into it then. Anyway, there are times that you're going to have to cut off people that you really care about. Some of them are parents, of course, friends or frenemies. Sometimes it's going to be children. Lovers, husbands, wives, what have you. The one that bothered me the most is my children. And I think the people who were throwing all of that baneful magic knew that. They knew, or they know, how important my children and grandchildren are to me. But that's where the art of detachment comes in. You have to learn how to detach. And I think I'm doing pretty good with that. Sometimes things still hurt. You want to run and say something to your children, but they're not there. Again, that's not to say that you don't love your children. I've always had like this detachment style kind of thing going on with my children. I didn't understand it. But that's how I was created, because of what I have to do. My journey. Doing shadow work, you have to come to grips with the things of who you were, things you did, things you thought that were just naturally you, your ways of thinking, your ways of being. A lot of times we grow up being a product of our environment. That's not for everyone. The things we do is because of what we've been through and whatnot. Sorry for the pauses, but I'm trying to say what I need to say to you without seeming like I'm making excuses for who I was then. There is no excuses. Yes, there are things that happen. Yes, I did things as a result of them. I did not have anyone around me to say, okay, that's not good. Try to do this. And me, I believe in, if you're telling someone not to do something, then give them an explanation as to why, which helps them to process things better. So just saying, don't do this, especially when younger people, what? You don't want me to do this? And it makes them want to go towards it more, right? So, ever since I was a child, I was not a child. I was always around adults. I didn't think in in childlike ways. I always felt like I was much older than what I was. Babysitting at a young age, a young age. Probably when I still need to be babysat. I wasn't the one who liked dolls, and I think I probably did play with them when I was around other people, but that wasn't something that I navigated towards. I wanted sewing machines. I wanted cooking stuff. Of course, I wanted a bike because I had gotten into a tomboy stage. I wanted a bird. I did. I used to watch Beretta, and I wanted a bird like Beretta. Of course, that's how I ended up getting my bike, my yellow bike with the black seat that had sparkly stars in it. I got that instead of the bird. My mindset was never that of a child. I hear many people say that was because I'm gonna leave that alone. I was just never like a child. And sometimes they say, when you have children and they might wean themselves and be potty trained early, that at some point they'll revert and kind of go back to peeing on themselves or what have you. And sometimes when another child comes along, they'll do the same thing. As I had been looking at me having children, I started having a child at 14 years old. I was still a child. I didn't know who I was. Even though my thoughts were older, some thoughts were older, obviously. Everything was not older. I didn't know how to process things. I was forced to be something that I wasn't ready for at the time. Still no excuse, okay? There are things that I've done the way that I raised my children that was not ideal to today's standards, but back then that was what people did in my community. And even that, it wasn't as harsh as some, because I had taken classes in high school and, I would watch PBS specials. Yes. When I got pregnant, I was watching everything, I was reading everything so that I could learn how to be a parent, because I didn't like how I was being raised. So I wanted to do something different. I wasn't sure all that it was, but I wanted something different. I heard someone say that me having a child was me trying to give the love to someone that I wanted. And I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. So not to keep going deep about what happened, we can talk about that some other time. People around you who've watched you raise your children, being young, and even your children themselves, not understanding, why they were spanked or what have you. Or whipped or beaten, as some people say. It just depends on who's talking. Because I'm pretty sure my children would say that I beat them. Yeah. Anyway. Going through those things, I'm pretty sure my children have held on to that as a very negative thing in their life. And I understand that. Because I understand what I went through. So, going through your journey, people are going to try to still put you in that box. Well, you were this way, you did this. I remember quite a few years back, I had someone in my family say, they was talking about something about drinking and stuff like that, and I said, I just don't do that anymore. Oh, you used to? That's the word. I used to. I don't do that anymore. I mean, I may drink, but it's not going to be with y'all. I'm not going to be out in public doing all that drinking. Be at home, where it's safe, and I don't have to worry about stuff. Because we know family can be very treacherous, especially when you know they've already attempted on your life, attempted to end your life. So, yes, they will hold on to those things. Your children will hold on to those things. Even if they see you making changes, they really not going to believe that because that is still in their mind. That's still in their mind of the way that you were. And I get it. I get it. I didn't change my thought process with my mother until I started going through, well, so that was before then. Because my mother passed in 2015. And I recall doing things for her because she was a double amputee. I was doing things for her that was still toxic, but I'll explain. At that time, I was still thinking that no matter what happened, she's still my mother, and I still need to do things for her. That is absolutely fucking toxic. Okay? Absolutely. If someone tells you that they don't regret anything that they did, just know that means they don't regret anything that they did to you. So, I did things out of obligation for my mother because she was a double amputee, which I didn't have to because she had all these services, but she would cuss them out because they was late. Now this is a business who picks up people who are handicapped and take a little longer to get on the buses or the shuttles. And because they was late picking her up, she cussed them out and lost the service. Mind you, she did that quite often. Doctors, whatever. Now I can see you doing that because you are speaking up for yourself, but sometimes it was just unnecessary. And I had to think about the things she used to say when she was a child. She had to learn to fight for herself because, one, I don't think that she was getting what she needed. And two, she was Kansas. So that sums that up a little bit. Anyway. Back to, they will hold on to that. Now, my kids are all grown. They're over their 30s. And I may say things. I try to keep a lid on some things that I'm going through, that I'm learning, because I know that they're not there. And they may never be there. Side note. Even when I was in the church, I was told that all your children are not even going to go to, at the time thinking they was going to go to heaven or whatever. All your children are not going to go to heaven. So you had to learn detachment with that. Okay, back. Wow. And even in this spiritual thing, everyone's not going to go with you. They're not meant to go with you. That wasn't in your contract. It wasn't in their contract. And I think we have to try to change our perception of how we look at this life. We are here to learn. When you come here, you're coming by yourself to do a specific thing. You're not coming here with mates or children, whatever. Yeah, you might. Everyone doesn't have a twin flame. So, if you do have one, sometimes your twin flame could be a sister, could be a best friend, could be a lawyer. It doesn't have to be a romantic person. Learn how to detach. Because when you're holding on to things, it keeps you here. People, places, and things. You gotta learn how to let them go. Because in the grand scheme of things, of the real reason why we're here, has nothing to do with those persons, places, or things. These are just lessons. These are just making memories. But our goal is not these people, places, and things. That's why you hear some, is it indigo children? I don't know. They kind of use them all interchangeably, but star seeds, indigo children, those names, they come and they don't want any children because having children makes you have karma. And I wanted a lot of children. I got a lot, but not as many as I wanted. Let go. Some of us have control issues where we want to hold on really tight to people because we probably think that we're supposed to try to change them. You can't change anyone unless they want to be changed, And if someone comes to you and say, I'm changing, I'm going to do this because I want to be with you, run. I mean, as quickly as you can. Rain, sleet, snow, hail, run. All right? Because it's not going to work out well. People have to change for themselves, not for someone else. Because in the end, they will regret you for that. I keep looking at these things that's on the wall. Love, live, and laugh. At some point in your journey, when, you've gotten your karma moved out of the way, and your frequency is on the same thing as getting your Dharma in, all the good stuff coming to you. I'm not saying just then, but the universe will go to hell and high waters for you and will protect you at all costs. So, learning how to let go, overcoming all the stuff that we've been taught. There's so many things that we have to rewrite in our head. There's so many things that we were taught wrong, or we were taught backwards, or we were just not taught at all. And trust me, there's a lot of things that we should have been learning when we were kids that we were not. Because we would be some very powerful beings. We are powerful beings. But we would know how to use those powers. And they don't want us to do that. And you know who they are. I don't have to say that. Let go, let go. I can't say that enough because I've heard it so much. And it's still a battle. It's still a battle. But it gets easier. And you are going to be tested at every hand. Every time you feel like, oh yeah, I got this. I've been through this. The universe is going to bring you a test regarding the same thing to make sure that you've gotten over that. And they're not doing that to hurt you or harm you, because they're not going to let anything happen to you. Even if you kind of sway like you was going the wrong way, they were like, smack you upside your head like they did me. And that's real. I got a mush in my head. Anyway, they won't let anything happen to you, okay? Unless you just being, I don't know what, and just want to be big and bold and do whatever the hell you want to do. Which you can. Free will. Free will. You can do absolutely whatever you want to do. But in making that decision, that is not really wrong. It's just not the one that's going to give you very good results. Say, for instance, that one of my exes comes back to me and wants to start up a relationship. Now, the relationship was not good. I lost out on a lot being with them. Or another one that I really didn't have a chance to be in a relationship with want to come back, but I found out that they was doing murderous shit towards me. But they want to come back to me because somehow they found out that I was supposed to be with them. Anyway. One, don't go backwards. Go forwards. Onwards and upwards. Not backwards. They may be getting their shit together. They may be changing. But you've done a whole lot of work more than they have. And if they try to come back and you get with them, you are going to go backwards and F up all that stuff you did. Do you understand what I'm saying? Again, you do whatever you feel is right for you. Because everyone's ex may not have done the same things mine. But you need to use your intuition and feel out what's best. And you know, once you've gotten into being by yourself and learning who you are, You understand what it is that you want and what it is that you don't want. So someone coming to you and wearing a mask, talking about, I've changed, I've did this, I've did that, and now I'm ready to be with you. If you get something going on in your intuition that says it's not right, listen to you. Now, I will tell you what happens. You'll get this initial feeling like something's wrong, and then you'll keep thinking about it and asking, oh, is this that? The more that you try to talk about it and see if that's right or if that's wrong, your ego is getting into it, and you might make the wrong decision, the not so right decision. Because you need to follow your first mind. That's why they say follow your first mind. The first thing that comes to you, do that. Because people are still casting illusions, making everything look pretty, doing things to the real people, the good people that you're supposed to be with, to make them look bad. So just be careful with that. Just be very careful with that. And that doesn't necessarily mean with a romantic relationship. That can mean anything. A job. Going somewhere on a vacation. Meeting new people. A lot of things. A lot of things. Follow your first mind. There will also be times when you don't really get anything. I'm not gonna say get anything, but you get a tap, so to speak, about something. Say a new job. And you're not really sure if you should take the job or not because of that little tap that you got. But things seem to be working out. Things seem to be flowing, You're not having any hesitations, no roadblocks. It seems to be going fine. Sometimes that is a lesson. So those things that you thought that you gotten over with, there's going to be something at that job that you're going to go through. That is a lesson that you thought you've gotten over. Yeah. And you may not know what it is until it happens. So, don't look at it negatively. Change your perspective. Change the way you think about it. You know that you want to move on and move forward, and so you have to do your tests, and you will get through them. The only way that someone can actually get to you, I heard, is through you. So unless you take on what they're doing or what they're saying as yours, it can't touch you. Nope, go right on around you. All the negative talk. People will try to do all kinds of things, talking behind your back. They may be doing things on the job to make you look bad. They might be maneuvering things and situations to make it look like it's your fault. And you're going to see it way in advance. So don't accept it. Don't accept it. You know what to do. You know who to go to and tell. And you let your spirit team handle it. Because trust me, they saw it way before you even accepted the job. They saw it. And actually, they're probably the ones that are orchestrating it to make sure that you get through this next test, you know? All I can say is I'm grateful for my team because they have never, ever let me down. And when I say my team, that's from the Most High Creator, God, Source, however you want to put it, down to the trees and the fairies and the what have you. And I shouldn't say down to because it's all one. You know what I'm saying? They all got you. And I'm grateful. Because even when I didn't know who I was or what was happening around me or that any of this even existed, they never forsake me. Never. Never. So I will always have a grateful heart. Always have a grateful heart. And be grateful for the things that's in my life. Do I have a lot right now? Absolutely not. According to this society, I don't have a lot. But I have everything that I need because everything I need is within me. Everything. I need money. Whatever's in me will attract what it is that I need. I don't know how I'm going to get to work all the time, but I'm not worried about it because if it's meant for me, I'll get there. Yeah, I'll get there. I had picked up some sidebar. I was outside getting some outside time yesterday. And I picked up some of those blue violets in the backyard. Some people will say they're weeds, but I think they're beautiful. And I gathered up, because they're pretty small. I gathered up a big handful and made a little arrangement for my peoples. Beautiful. I never thought that I would. I mean, I knew I liked to plant, vegetables and stuff, but I didn't think that I would enjoy it as much as I do now. It's very healing. It's therapeutic. And it's taking care of you. It's taking care of the earth, which is a part of you, you know? Even taking care of animals. Papa. Hi, handsome. Hey, what's up? I see you wagging your tail so fast. You know, Grandma? No. He like, not right now. What are you looking for, baby? Did you lose something? You know, some coinage or something? Take care of them. The universe will take care of you. Back to children. Sometimes not sometimes. Every time you have a mission to do something, there is going to be someone who has a mission as well to stop you from completing your mission. And sometimes that can be your children. Or sometimes that can be other people who will use your children to do something against you. Because they know that will hurt you. And if that hurts you, then that lowers your vibration. And then they can come in and do whatever they want to. Don't let them do that. Yes, things are going to hurt. But you have to learn how to, while allowing that to hurt, be in that attachment mode. Do your affirmations, prayers, meditations, hugging your trees, walking outside with no shoes on, exercising, fasting, whatever it is that you need to do that's for you to keep your vibration up regardless of what is happening around you. And remember that our souls are not really here. It's just a portion of us that's here. Our soul, our base is somewhere else. So you'll see them again. That's just their job. You have a contract to do something. They have a contract to do something. And that doing something may be against you. So you go hard. Is it hard in the paint? You know, I don't know about this stuff. You go hard to complete your stuff. And they will do the same to stop you from completing your stuff. Just what it is. How you look at it. If you are focused on what they're doing, you can complete what you complete. And I say that to myself because every now and then I might listen to something just to see what's going on with the people who are doing something against me. And you have to stop. You have to stop. And just stay focused on you because you're delaying yourself by listening to all of that all the time. There's enough things to do for yourself that'll keep you busy. I mean, if you allow it to keep you busy, you can, again, do whatever the hell it is that you want to do. You are an adult. There may be some children going through that. I don't know. My children that have done something against me by saying something that they shouldn't have, or constantly doing something. I mean, I've had I'm gonna say this. I picked up the phone on 2 different occasions that I remember, and this person was calling for a child of mine, which the sounds of him on the other line did not sound like somebody that I would ever think that that person would be talking to, my child would be talking to. But I don't know everyone in my child's life. But I got a very, very strange feeling. So I took it as my child is doing something against me behind my back. And you can't dwell on that. You do what you do, and you let your ancestors handle that. You let God's source handle that. Take it to them. Let them know what's going on, how you feeling. It's not like they don't know, but you just making sure you doing your part. You let them know that you remember they've never let you down, and that they've always had your back. Put some flowers on the table. Light a candle. Call out your ancestors who you love and who love you, in honor of them taking care of you when they were here, or honor them for all the blood, sweat, and tears that they've had to endure when they were walking the earth. Even use the candle as a way of shining a light on the things that the universe stopped from happening to you. The accidents that they prevented you from being in without you even knowing. The kidnappings or the stabbings, or it could be anything. The universe has stopped a lot of things from happening to you that you can't even fathom. Just light it as an acknowledgement of that. There are going to be so many people who say, oh, that's witchcraft, or that's voodoo. Let people say whatever it is that they're going to say. But I want you to know that the main ones who are going hard saying that that's something that it is not are the ones, when they close their doors, they are doing some very baneful, evil, vile things behind their closed doors. To their children, to their spouses, to other men or women. They're doing evil things to just whole congregations of people. Be aware of that. So you don't have to do what I say. Do what feels comfortable for you. If you just all of a sudden want to cook an apple pie and you don't really eat apple pie, that's not you. That's someone that probably was in your family that wants apple pie. Make the apple pie. Take out a piece of it, set it on a plate. Or if you don't do that, I'm making this in remembrance of you, or I made this in remembrance of you, and then give it away. It's very simple. It's not witchy. It's not hoodoo-y. It's not scary. It's not what it's like honoring your ancestors. People do it all the time. What do you think all of these monuments are for? That's honoring their ancestors. All of Mount Rushmore, what's his, Lee Grant, whatever. All these monuments of different people, whose ever family that was or who was around them, they are honoring them constantly by having those monuments up. You don't have a monument up. You just saying, I'm grateful to you for who you were when you were here, what you accomplished while you were here. I'm grateful to you for the blood that's running through my veins. That's it. Let people talk. Let the people talk. You probably taken away some money from them that they are stealing from their congregation. And I don't know why I'm saying congregation, but for some reason that's coming up. Whatever. They have a certain mindset. They're teaching other people this mindset. And they're telling people what you're doing is wrong. But actually what they're doing is wrong. Because if it gets out and people understand what you're saying is correct, they probably not going to get the money that they was getting, the praise, the recognition, because nowadays it's about money and clout, which absolutely means shit, because they've been going just like that. It could be gone just like that. And to whoever I'm talking to, I don't know who it is that's out there that's listening, that you want to try to defame and destroy me for what it is that I'm saying, try changing your perspective. Get with the times. Just like musicians, how they had to switch up things and change it to social media. Switch up how you doing things. Because I'm not trying to get nobody to come to my side or do what it is that I'm doing. Because even what I'm doing, there's levels to this. So everybody's not going to do what I do. And I don't expect them to, because my relationship with God, source, universe, is different from yours or theirs. Everyone is not going to think the same way that I think. I'm just saying, switch up how you're thinking. If you was raised to think this way, if you think that, oh, this is the only way to do something, it is not. There's more than one way to do something. There's more than one way to get money. You you do what you do. If you make money dancing in an exotic way, that's you. Do I judge you? No. But I tell you what, the ones who talking bad about it is probably the ones sitting in the back watching you. Anyway, if you're making money having relations with all the people that you come in contact with, so be it. That is an occupation that has been here since the beginning of time, probably. It won't ever stop. Am I judging you? No. But the ones that are judging you was probably the ones that is your biggest customer. Anyway. So many ways to do things. If you are a pastor, I don't know why that keeps coming up. And you are hating on someone who is thinking a different way of thinking, change the way you think. Because everyone knows, even you know, that the things that you're teaching all the time doesn't make sense. So rethink that and really go to your God. Let me switch that up. Because everyone that's a pastor that's in the pulpit does not serve the same God as everyone else. I am not going to change that. I say what I said. So I have to retract what I said. All those that are serving the true God, source, universe, ask God, source, universe to show you how to change your perspective within what it is that you know, so that you can deliver that to your people in the way people are thinking now, for them to get it. You understand what I'm saying? And of course, you don't have to listen to anything that I say. Simmer. Who am I? I am just Toya of the Blue Lighthouse Mantle. You don't have to listen to anything I say that I speak about on the Blue Lighthouse Mantle. Just think about that. Color blue. Lighthouse Mantle. What is all that saying? I love you all. Even those that pass judgment on me, I don't pass judgment on you. I let the Most High do that. I give it to him. I explain what's going on. I explain how it's making me feel. And I give it to him. Them. Her. We are all one. We are all connected in some way, form, or fashion. You may see mostly light of me, which may be why people think that I'm faking it. But I must say that what you see of me now is something that I'm consciously doing. Do the dark things roll through my mind? Yes. Do I constantly want to cuss people out? Of course. But I choose not to. Now, there may be some time in the future that I will react instead of respond and just go completely off on somebody because I've been holding a lot in, you know what I mean? And people do things to trigger you because the narratives that they have been putting to people out about you, they want to trigger you, so to bring that up and out of you, to say, oh, I told you she was like this, I told you she was faking, blah blah blah. Let me say this to you who's listening. If you see me in love and light, and then you see me nut up on someone as a response to something that someone else did, just know that that is me too. Being balanced in your light and your dark is part of the journey. I am balanced, but it may be that the universe is allowing me to nut up on somebody because that person did not or will not deserve grace. Okay. They're going to get the only thing that they know because they can't accept love and light because they've never had it and they don't know how to change their perception about it. So you cussing them out, they'll finally, oh, that's okay. Then they'll get it. But just know, you have to be balanced in your light and your dark. You cannot have one without the other, or else you'll be imbalanced. Love and light means that is something that you consciously choose to be for the most part. Mostly because it keeps you at a high vibration. But another reason could be because once you start, you will set off something, not just in the 3D, but in the 5D, that will shake up some things that some people are not going to be able to handle. Know that. So, I mean, some people just have to FA and FAFO. And then that would be on them. If it happens to you, forgive yourself and you move on and do whatever it is you gotta do to raise your vibration back up. People want you to get there so they can ease their energy into you and try to ride your coattail and go where you're going. That will never happen. Even if you do go off on them, the ones that's protecting you will not allow people to let their energy merge with yours so they can go with you. They cannot go. They cannot. And they are going to do everything they can to try because they're going through. They desperately need your energy to survive. They looking like ghosts out here. I shouldn't even say ghosts. They're looking like Skeletor out here because they need your energy. Do not allow them to have it. They cannot get to you unless they get through you. And they can only get through you if you allow it. Pick up some flowers today. It's a rainy day where I am. Pick up some flowers and put it on your table. You know? Tell your people that you love them, you miss them, and you appreciate everything that they did for you to be here for such a time as this. If it wasn't for them, you would not be here. Be grateful. It's important. Be grateful every day. If you can come up with at least 3 things that you're grateful for every day, you're doing better than most. And the more you do that, you will have so many things to be grateful for that it might take you up to an hour or more to say what it is that you're grateful for. You might have to break it up. Well, I've been on here too long. I am gonna go and say what I'm grateful for. Go collect some rain. If you know, you know. Again, I love you all. This goes out into the atmosphere. I love all my ancestors. I love all the light beings and all of the entities who are here for protection and guidance. I'm so grateful. I am Toya. And this is the Blue Lighthouse Mantle. Laters.